Madison poured coffee for a man with a dog, right as the inspector walked in. Her boss didn't yell, just stared with icy eyes. "You're done, Madison," he said, voice flat. 5 years of hard work at the diner vanished in one sentence. She didn't cry. Her hands shook as she untied her apron and left, not because she broke a rule, but because she stood up for a veteran and his service dog. What Madison didn't know was that someone recorded it all. Before the diner's breakfast crowd thinned, tires screeched outside. 3 military trucks pulled up, and a Marine officer in crisp dress blues stepped out, a man who knew the cost of loyalty. In that moment, everything shifted. Madison Parker, 38, ran the Sunnyside Diner on the edge of Willow Creek, a small town in Ohio, just a 20-minute drive from Camp Rutherford, a National Guard base. The diner sat along a quiet street with faded red booths, a jukebox that played old country tunes, and a chalkboard sign for daily specials. It wasn't fancy, no latte art or gourmet muffins, just hot coffee and comfort food. But Madison made it special. She treated it like a home, not a business. She knew everyone's orders, their kids' names, and who liked extra syrup. Veterans, especially, found a safe spot there. She never pushed them to talk, just poured their coffee and listened when they did. Every Thursday at 8 a.m., she hosted Heroes Breakfast, a tradition that started small but grew. It began with just a few regulars: Tom, a Gulf War vet who loved her pancakes; Sarah, a retired medic with a sharp laugh; and Jim, a Vietnam vet who sat quietly with his tea. Over time, more came. Young soldiers fresh from deployment, older ones carrying memories they rarely shared. Madison always said, "This is a place to sit, not to prove anything." They'd nod, relax, and swap stories, some funny, some heavy. The diner felt alive, warm, human. Madison's own story wasn't something she shared often. Her brother, Ethan, died in Iraq 10 years earlier. His photo hung near the counter, a young man in a flannel shirt, smiling with a coffee mug outside the diner. She'd taken over the place after he passed, pouring her grief into making it a haven. People respected her for it. Kids held the door for her. Vets called her ma'am with sincerity. The mayor once said she kept Willow Creek's heart beating. That Thursday started like any other. The bell above the door jingled. Coffee brewed, filling the air with its familiar smell. Regulars chatted over eggs and toast. Madison moved between tables, her ponytail bouncing, her smile easy. She was setting out mugs for Heroes Breakfast when the door opened, and Caleb Wilson walked in with his service dog, Rusty, a golden retriever with a blue vest that read, "Service dog. Do not pet." Caleb, in his early 50s, was a former Army Ranger, quiet but kind. He'd started coming a few months back, always sitting in the corner. Rusty stayed close, calm and alert. Madison waved. "Your spot's open, Caleb," she said. He nodded, grateful, and settled by the window. Then the air changed. The door swung open with a sharp gust, and a man in a gray suit stepped in, clipboard in hand, face tight. His name tag read, Victor Hayes, Health Inspector. Madison hadn't expected him. "Morning," she said, keeping her voice polite. "Can I get you anything?" "Inspection," Victor snapped, not looking up. Unannounced. He moved through the diner like he owned it, checking counters, opening coolers, scribbling notes. Then he froze, eyes locked on Rusty. "That dog," he said, loud enough for heads to turn, "is a health code violation. No animals in food service areas." The diner went quiet. Caleb gripped his mug, knuckles white. Rusty didn't move, just looked up at his owner. Madison stepped forward, voice steady. "He's a service dog, sir. Federal law allows him here." Victor's eyes narrowed. "I don't care about vests. Dogs carry germs. Get out, or I shut this place down." Madison took a breath, her heart racing. She glanced at Caleb, then back at Victor. "I'm not asking a veteran to leave, and I'm not asking his dog to either. Write your report, but you're wrong to target a man who served." Murmurs spread. Someone whispered, "Good for her." But Victor's face hardened. Before he could respond, another figure appeared at the door, Claire Bennett, the diner's area manager. Her lips were a thin line. "Madison Parker," she said, voice cold, "you just broke company policy in front of an inspector." "You're fired." Gasps echoed. A fork hit a plate. Caleb stood, stunned. Madison looked around at the chalkboard that read Heroes Breakfast, free for vets, at Caleb and Rusty, at the faces of regulars she'd known for years. She smiled faintly, untied her apron, and set it on the counter. "Keep Caleb's coffee full," she whispered to Sophie, the young waitress nearby. Then she walked out into the morning light, the diner silent behind her. But someone had their phone out, recording. The video spread fast, lighting up phones across Willow Creek. And in an office at Camp Rutherford, Major Daniel Carter got a call that changed everything. The diner stayed quiet after Madison left. Customers stared at their plates, coffee cooling in mugs. Sophie, the young waitress, stood frozen behind the counter, her hands shaky as she poured Caleb's refill. "I'm so sorry," she whispered to him, her voice barely audible. Caleb just nodded, his eyes fixed on Rusty, who lay still under the table. The inspector, Victor, scribbled on his clipboard, his pen scratching loud in the silence. Claire, the area manager, hovered near the door, checking her phone like nothing happened. But something was happening. Outside, the street buzzed. A low rumble grew, like a storm rolling in. Heads turned. Cups rattled. 3 military trucks pulled into the diner's gravel lot, their engines growling. Doors slammed, and Major Daniel Carter stepped out, his dress blue sharp, his face unreadable. Behind him, a dozen soldiers followed, standing tall in the morning sun. Inside, Victor's pen stopped. Claire's phone slipped to her side. Sophie gasped, "Oh my gosh." Caleb sat up straighter, Rusty's ears perking. Major Carter walked in alone, his boots heavy on the worn floor. He scanned the room, his eyes landing on Caleb. "Sergeant Wilson," he said, voice calm but firm. Caleb stood, almost by instinct, and nodded back. The major turned to Claire. "Where's Madison Parker?" Claire stammered. She was fired. For breaking policy. The major's jaw tightened. For standing up for a soldier and his service dog, he corrected. "I saw the video." The video. It had spread like wildfire. A customer, a teenage girl named Ava, had posted it online. Her shaky footage showed Madison's stand, her quiet defiance, and Claire's cold words. By noon, it had thousands of views. People in Willow Creek shared it, angry and proud. Veterans from Camp Rutherford saw it too. Major Carter, a man who'd led troops in Afghanistan, wasn't one for speeches, but he knew loyalty when he saw it. He'd lost friends to war, and he'd seen what a kind word could do for a soldier coming home. Madison's diner was a lifeline for his men, and he wasn't about to let her fall. "You don't get it," Carter said to Claire, his voice low. "That woman gave my soldiers a place to feel human again, and you threw her out for it." Claire opened her mouth, but no words came. Victor cleared his throat. "Health codes are clear." Carter cut him off. "So is respect. You don't need a rule book to know what's right." The diner's regulars nodded. Tom, the Gulf War vet, muttered, "Damn straight." Sarah, the medic, wiped a tear. Caleb spoke up, his voice rough. "She never judged me. Never asked why I needed Rusty. Just gave me a seat and a coffee. That's more than most do." Outside, the soldiers stood in a line, their presence heavy. A crowd gathered, townsfolk, kids on bikes, even the hardware store owner across the street. Ava, the teenager who filmed it, was there, still holding her phone, eyes wide. The air felt thick, like something big was coming. Carter pulled out his phone and made a call. "Find her," he said. "Now." Sophie, still behind the counter, spoke up, her voice small. "She's probably at home. She lives on Maple Street." Carter nodded. "Thank you, miss." He turned to leave, then paused, looking at Caleb. "You're coming with me." Caleb hesitated, then grabbed Rusty's leash. The dog stood, ready. As they walked out, the crowd parted. Sophie watched, her heart pounding. She'd worked with Madison for 2 years, learned everything from her. How to pour coffee just right, how to listen when someone didn't want to talk. She wasn't letting this go. She pulled out her phone and texted Madison. "Something's happening. Come back." The message sent, but Madison didn't reply. She was sitting in her pickup truck, parked in her driveway, still in her coffee-stained jeans and blue flannel. The keys dangled in her hand, but the engine was off. She stared at Ethan's photo taped to the dashboard, a reminder of why she kept going. Madison hadn't cried when Claire fired her. She hadn't yelled. But now, alone, her chest felt tight. She'd built the diner into something more than a job. It was her way of keeping Ethan's memory alive, of giving back to the people who served like he did. Losing it hurt more than she could say. Her phone buzzed with Sophie's text, but she didn't look. What was the point? Then she heard it, a low rumble, like trucks on her street. She looked up. Headlights cut through the afternoon haze. Military trucks. Her heart skipped. Major Carter stepped out, Caleb and Rusty beside him. "Madison Parker," Carter said, his voice carrying. "We need to talk." Madison stepped out of her truck, her boots crunching on the gravel. Major Carter stood tall, his dress blues catching the fading light. Caleb and Rusty stayed close, the dog's blue vest bright against the gray street. A small crowd had gathered, neighbors peeking from porches, kids on bikes pausing to watch. Madison's heart pounded. "What's going on?" she asked, her voice shaky. Carter met her eyes. "Madison, you stood up for one of my men today. That video's everywhere now. People are talking, and they're angry. I'm here to make this right. Make it right." Madison said, crossing her arms. "I lost my job, Major. The diner's all I had. What's there to fix?" Caleb spoke up, his voice low but steady. "You didn't just give me coffee, Madison. You gave me a place to breathe. Rusty and me, we don't fit most places. You never made us feel that way." She looked at Caleb, then at Rusty, who sat calmly by his side. Her throat tightened. "I just did what felt right," she said softly. "And that's why we're here," Carter said. "Camp Rutherford doesn't forget people like you. You've been serving our soldiers longer than you know. I've seen it. My men talk about your diner, how it's the one place they don't feel like strangers." Madison shook her head. "I'm no hero, Major. I'm just a woman who lost her brother and tried to keep his memory alive." Carter's face softened. "Your brother, Ethan. I knew him. Good soldier. He'd be proud of what you've done." Her eyes widened. "You knew Ethan?" "Saved my life once," Carter said, his voice quieter. "Took a hit for me in Iraq. I never got to thank him. But I can thank you." Madison's hands dropped to her sides. She didn't know what to say. The crowd murmured, and a neighbor, Mrs. Thompson, called out, "Madison, you're one of us. They can't treat you like that." "Yeah," a teenage boy, Liam, shouted from his bike. "That inspector was a jerk. We saw the video." Madison managed a small smile. "Thanks, Liam. Mrs. Thompson. But I don't know what happens now." Carter stepped closer. "Come to the base. Tomorrow. We've got something to show you. It's not just about today. It's about what you've been doing for years." "What's at the base?" Madison asked, her voice unsure. "Something you need to see," Carter said. "Bring Caleb if you want. And Rusty. Dogs are welcome where we're going." Caleb chuckled, patting Rusty's head. "Hear that, boy? You're invited." Madison hesitated. "I don't know, Major. I'm not military. I don't belong there." "You belong more than you think," Carter said. "One meeting. That's all I'm asking." Sophie, the waitress, pushed through the crowd, her apron still on. "Madison, you have to go," she said, breathless. "The diner's a mess without you. Claire's acting like she owns it, and Victor's still there, writing up violations. But everyone's talking about you. The whole town's behind you." "Sophie, you shouldn't be here," Madison said. "You'll get in trouble." "I don't care," Sophie replied, her eyes fierce. "You taught me to stand up for what's right. I'm not letting you do this alone." Ava, the teenager who filmed the video, stepped forward, holding her phone. "Madison, it's got 10,000 views now," she said. "People are commenting, saying you're a hero. Vets from all over are sharing it." Madison's breath caught. 10,000. "Yeah," Ava said, grinning. "And it's only been a few hours." Carter nodded. "That's why we need you at the base. This isn't just about a diner. It's bigger." Madison looked to the faces around her, Carter's steady gaze, Caleb's quiet gratitude, Sophie's fire, Ava's excitement. Even Rusty seemed to watch her, his tail giving a slow wag. She thought of Ethan, of the diner, of the years she'd spent pouring coffee and listening to stories. "Okay," she said finally. "I'll come. Tomorrow." Carter smiled, a rare crack in his serious face. "Good. 0900 hours. Don't be late." As the trucks rolled away, Madison stood in her driveway, the crowd slowly breaking up. Sophie hugged her. "You're going to be okay," she whispered. Madison nodded, but her stomach twisted. She didn't know what the base held, but she felt it. A shift, like the world was tilting toward something new. Back at the diner, Claire sat in the office, her face pale, as she scrolled through the video's comments online. "This is a PR nightmare," she muttered to herself. Victor, still there, looked up from his clipboard. "You should have backed her," he said, surprising himself. "She's got the town on her side." Claire glared. "She broke the rules." "That's it." Victor shook his head. "Rules don't win hearts." She did. Across town, at Camp Rutherford, Carter walked into a small office. A young soldier, Emma, looked up from a desk covered in papers. "Did you find her, sir?" she asked. "Yeah," Carter said. "She's coming. Get the team ready. Tomorrow's a big day." Emma nodded, her eyes bright. "She's gonna love it, sir. What she did for Caleb, it's what we've been missing." Carter looked out the window, the base quiet under the stars. "She's been doing it for years, Emma. We just didn't see it till now." Madison woke early the next morning, her stomach in knots. She pulled on a clean flannel and jeans, her hands brushing Ethan's photo on the dashboard as she started her truck. The drive to Camp Rutherford felt longer than usual, the Ohio fields blurring past. She didn't know what to expect, but Major Carter's words echoed in her head. "This is bigger." Caleb and Rusty sat beside her, quiet. "You nervous?" Caleb asked, his voice rough. "A little," Madison admitted. "You." "Always," Caleb said, petting Rusty. "But you're worth showing up for." They reached the base gates, where a young soldier, Noah, waved them through. "Miss Parker, Sergeant Wilson, follow me," he said, his tone respectful. Madison parked and stepped out, the base's orderly roads and flag-lined paths feeling like another world. Noah led them to a low building with a sign, Veterans Support Hub. Inside, Major Carter waited with Emma, the soldier from the night before, and a woman in her late 20s, Olivia, who held a leash attached to a young lab in a training vest. "Madison," Carter said, shaking her hand. "Thanks for coming. This is Olivia Reed, one of our trainers." Olivia smiled, her eyes warm but tired. "Heard a lot about you," she said. "That video, it hit home." Madison frowned. "What is this place?" she asked. Carter gestured to the room, folding chairs, a coffee maker, a whiteboard with "Welcome Home" scrawled in marker. "This is our new support hub," he said. "A place for vets to land softly when they come back. Therapy, job help, community. But it's struggling. We need someone who gets it." Madison's eyes narrowed. "Gets what?" "Vets," Emma said, stepping forward. "Not just their paperwork. Their hearts. You've been doing that at your diner forever." "I'm no counselor," Madison said, shaking her head. "I just pour coffee and listen." "Exactly," Carter said. "That's what they need. Not suits with clipboards." "You." Madison froze. "You're offering me a job?" "More than that," Carter said. "A chance to run this place. Build it. Make it what you made the diner, a home." Before she could answer, the door burst open. Claire, the area manager, stormed in, her face red. "Madison, you can't be here," she snapped. "You're banned from company property, and this base works with our chain." Carter raised an eyebrow. "This is military ground, ma'am. You don't call the shots." Claire's eyes darted to Caleb, then Rusty. "This is about that dog, isn't it? You're all making a mistake." Olivia stepped forward, her voice sharp. "That dog helps me sleep at night. You think that's a mistake?" Claire faltered. I'm just following policy." "Policy," Caleb said, his voice rising. "You fired her for doing the right thing. You embarrassed me in front of everyone." Madison put a hand on Caleb's arm. "It's okay," she said softly. Then to Claire, "You made your choice. I'm here now." Claire's phone buzzed. She glanced at it and paled. "The video's at 50,000 views," she muttered. "The company's getting calls. They're furious." "Good," Carter said. "Maybe they'll learn something." A new voice cut in. They won't. Everyone turned. It was Victor, the health inspector, standing in the doorway. His clipboard was gone, his face uneasy. I didn't expect this, he said. Madison, I was just doing my job. But I was wrong. Madison stared, stunned. You're apologizing? Victor nodded. I saw the comments online. Vets saying your diner saved them. I didn't get it then. I do now. The room went quiet. Emma whispered to Noah. Did not see that coming. Carter looked at Madison. Your call, Madison. You want to talk to him? She shook her head. Not now. I need to understand this place first. Carter nodded. Fair. Let's show you. He led her to a back room, where photos lined the walls, soldiers, families, service dogs. One caught her eye, Ethan, laughing with Carter years ago. He was here, Carter said. This is where he'd want you. Madison's eyes stung. You're serious about me running this? As serious as it gets, Carter said. But there's a catch. The program's on thin ice. Budget cuts. Some higher-ups think it's a waste. You'd have to fight for it. Olivia spoke up. I'm in if you are. My dog Daisy, she's training to help vets like me. We need this place. Caleb nodded. I'm in too. Rusty and me, we owe you. Madison looked at them. Carter's steady gaze, Olivia's hope, Caleb's quiet strength. Then she saw Sophie slip in, holding a tray of coffee. Figured you'd need this, Sophie said, grinning. Madison laughed, her first real laugh all day. Your trouble, Sophie. Learn from the best. Sophie shot back. As they sipped coffee, a soldier rushed in. Major, we've got a problem, he said. Brass from D.C. just called. They're coming tomorrow. They want to shut the hub down. Carter's face hardened. Not on my watch. Madison's heart raced. She wasn't even hired yet, and already the fight was on. Madison stood in the Veterans Support Hub, her coffee cup warm in her hands. The room felt alive with photos of soldiers and handwritten notes pinned to a board, but the air was heavy. Major Carter's words hung like a storm cloud. D.C. officials were coming to shut the hub down. Caleb sat nearby, Rusty at his feet, his face tight with worry. Olivia, the dog trainer, knelt beside Daisy, her young lab, whispering to keep her calm. Sophie, still holding the coffee tray, looked at Madison with wide eyes. What do we do now? She asked. Madison set her cup down. I don't even work here yet, she said, her voice soft but firm. Why is this my fight? Carter turned to her. Because you've been fighting it for years, Madison. Every vet you gave a free coffee, every story you listened to, that was this hub before it had a name. She looked at the photo of Ethan on the wall, his smile so familiar it hurt. I'm not a leader, she said. I'm just me. That's enough, Caleb said, his voice rough. You saw me when I felt invisible. You didn't ask questions. You just let me sit. That's more than most. Olivia stood, Daisy's leash in hand. He's right. I came back from Afghanistan 2 years ago. Couldn't sleep, couldn't talk. Found your diner by accident. You remembered I liked tea, not coffee. Sounds small, but it wasn't. Madison's chest tightened. I didn't know it meant that much, she said quietly. It did, Olivia said. Still does. This hub could do that for so many more. Sophie stepped closer. Madison, you taught me to care about people, not just orders. If you don't fight for this place, who will? Before Madison could answer, the door opened. A young veteran, Lucas, walked in, his service dog, a black lab named Scout, by his side. His hands shook slightly, and his eyes darted around. Is this the place? He asked, voice low. Madison recognized that look, nervous, like he was waiting to be turned away. She walked over, smiling gently. Yeah, Lucas. This is the place. Want some coffee? He nodded, relaxing a bit. Sure. Thanks. Scout's okay here, right? More than okay, Madison said, glancing at Rusty and Daisy. We're a dog-friendly crowd. Lucas sat, Scout curling up beside him. Heard about you, he said. The video. You got fired for a guy like me. Madison shrugged. Didn't seem fair to kick out a vet and his dog. Lucas looked down. Fair's hard to come by. Scout's the only reason I get through the day. Caleb leaned forward. Same with Rusty. Madison gets that. Always did. The room went quiet, the weight of their words settling in. Carter broke the silence. Madison, those DC folks are coming tomorrow at noon. They'll decide the hub's fate. We've got one shot to show them what this place can be. What do they want? Madison asked. Numbers, Carter said. Budgets, metrics. They don't get what you do. Build a home for people who've lost theirs. Then we show them, Sophie said, her voice fierce. We fill this place tomorrow. Vets, families, dogs. Let them see what Madison's been doing all along. Olivia nodded. I can call every vet I know. Get them here. Show DC this isn't just a program, it's people. Lucas spoke up, hesitant. I could talk. If it helps. Tell them what places like this mean. Madison looked at him, surprised. You sure, Lucas? You don't have to. I want to, he said. You stuck your neck out for us. I can do the same. Carter grinned. That's the spirit. Madison, you in? She hesitated, her eyes flicking to Ethan's photo. Then she nodded. Yeah, I'm in. But how do we pull this off by tomorrow? We start now, Carter said. Sophie, call the diner. Get your crew here. Olivia, round up the vets. Caleb, Lucas, spread the word on base. I'll handle the brass. What about me? Madison asked. You're the heart of this, Carter said. Get this place ready. Make it feel like your diner. As they scattered, a new twist hit. Sophie's phone buzzed with a message from Ava, the teenager who filmed the video. Madison, you need to see this, Sophie said, holding up her phone. The video now had 100,000 views, and a news van was parked outside the diner. Local station wants to interview you, Ava texted. They're calling you a hero. Madison's jaw dropped. A hero? I just poured coffee. No, Caleb said, standing. You gave us a place to belong. That's bigger. Before she could respond, another figure appeared at the door, Claire, the area manager, with a man in a suit. Madison, Claire said, her voice tight. This is Mr. Evans, our company lawyer. We need to talk about that video. Evans stepped forward, his face stern. You're causing trouble, Miss Parker. The company's prepared to sue for defamation unless you take it down. Madison's heart sank. Sue me? For what? For damaging our reputation, Evans said. That video paints us as the bad guys. You fired her for helping a vet. Sophie snapped. You did that yourselves. Carter stepped in, his voice calm but sharp. You're on my base, Mr. Evans. Threaten her again, and you'll deal with me. Evans hesitated, then backed off. We'll talk later, he muttered, leaving with Claire. Madison exhaled, her hands trembling. This is getting crazy, she said. It's just starting, Carter replied. Get ready, Madison. Tomorrow's gonna be bigger than you think. Madison spent the night at the Veterans Support Hub, stringing up lights and arranging chairs. The room smelled of fresh coffee, thanks to Sophie, who'd raided the diner's supplies. Caleb and Rusty stayed, helping Olivia and Lucas pin photos of vets on the walls. Each picture told a story: smiles, scars, service dogs. Madison paused at one of Ethan, her brother, laughing with soldiers. He'd love this, she whispered. Sophie looked over, wiping her hands. You okay, Madison? Yeah, Madison said, forcing a smile. Just a lot. You're doing great, Caleb said, hammering a nail for a photo. This place already feels like your diner. Olivia nodded, brushing Daisy's fur. Vets are coming tomorrow because of you. I called 10 already. They're bringing families. Lucas, quieter, spoke up. I texted my buddy, Nate. He's nervous, but he's coming. Said your diner was the only place he didn't feel judged. Madison's heart lifted, but the lawyer's threat lingered. What if the company sues? She asked. I don't have money for that. Don't worry, Carter said, walking in with a stack of folders. I've got friends in legal. They're looking into it. Focus on tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Madison asked. You keep saying it's big, but what am I walking into? Carter set the folders down. The DC brass, Colonel Hayes and his team. They're reviewing the hub. If they like what they see, we get funding. If not, it's done. Done. Olivia said, her voice sharp. This place is all some of us have. I know, Carter said. That's why we're showing them what Madison does best, building a home. Madison shook her head. I'm not a miracle worker, Major. I just listen. And that's the miracle, Carter said. You make people feel seen. That's what this hub needs. Before she could reply, Ava burst in, her phone glowing. Madison, the news vans at the diner. They're live right now talking about you. Live, Madison said, stunned. What are they saying? Ava turned her phone. A reporter stood outside the diner, her voice clear. Madison Parker, fired for defending a veteran and his service dog, has sparked a movement in Willow Creek. Locals call her a hero. Her story's gone viral, with over 200,000 views. Madison's jaw dropped. 200,000? Yeah, Ava said, grinning. And there's more. Vets are posting videos saying your diner saved them. One guy said he was going to give up till you gave him a free breakfast and a smile. Caleb nodded. That's true for a lot of us. Sophie hugged Madison. You're famous now. I don't want fame, Madison said, her voice shaky. I just want to help. And you will, Carter said. Tomorrow, you show those suits what you've done for years. As they worked, the door opened again. A woman in her 60s, Ellen, walked in, her face familiar. She held a photo of a young soldier. Madison, she said softly, you don't know me, but you knew my son, Jack. He came to your diner after Afghanistan. Said it was the only place he felt okay. Madison's eyes stung. Jack. I remember him. He liked extra sugar in his coffee. Ellen smiled, tears falling. He passed last year. But he told me about you. I saw the video. I had to come. Madison hugged her, her own tears spilling. I'm so sorry about Jack. You gave him good days, Ellen said. That's why I'm here. I'm helping tomorrow. The room went quiet, the weight of her words sinking in. Then a new sound broke through, tires crunching outside. Everyone froze. Carter looked out the window. News van, he said. They found us. A reporter, Mia, stepped in, a cameraman behind her. Madison Parker, she asked. I'm with Channel 5. Can we talk? Madison panicked. I'm not good on camera, she said. You don't have to be, Mia said. Just tell us why you stood up for that veteran. Caleb spoke up. She stood up for me because she cares. Always has. Lucas nodded. She's the reason I'm here tonight. Scout and me, we trust her. Mia's eyes softened. That's what we want to show the world. Will you talk? Madison looked at Carter, then Sophie, then Ellen. Okay, she said. But it's not about me. It's about them. The interview was short but raw. Madison spoke about Ethan, the diner, the vets. Caleb and Lucas shared their stories, Rusty and Scout lying nearby. When Mia left, she promised the story would air that night. You're changing things, Madison, she said. As the van drove off, Carter's phone rang. His face darkened. It's Colonel Hayes, he said. He's coming early. 0700 tomorrow. And he's bringing a general. A general? Sophie gasped. What does that mean? It means we're out of time, Carter said. Madison, you ready to lead? She swallowed hard, looking at the photos, the coffee pot, the people around her. I don't know, she said. But I'm not backing down. The Veteran Support Hub buzzed with nervous energy as dawn broke over Willow Creek. Madison hadn't slept, her hands stained from wiping down tables and brewing coffee. The room glowed with string lights, photos of vets lining the walls, and a chalkboard sign that read, Welcome home. Caleb, Olivia, Lucas, and Sophie worked beside her, setting up chairs and a table with muffins from the diner. Rusty, Daisy, and Scout lay in a corner, their calm presence grounding everyone. Ellen, the mother who'd lost her son Jack, brought homemade cookies, her hands steady despite her red eyes. For the vets, she said softly. Madison checked her watch, 6:45 a.m. The D.C. brass, Colonel Hayes, and a general. We're due in 15 minutes. This place looks good, she said, her voice tired but warm. Thanks, everyone. Caleb adjusted a photo frame. Feels like your diner, Madison. That's a good thing. Olivia nodded, tying Daisy's vest. My vets are coming. 10 confirmed, maybe more. They want to meet you. Lucas looked up, nervous. I'm talking today, right? About Scout. You don't have to, Madison said. Only if you want. I want, Lucas said. You stood up for Caleb. I can stand up for this place. Sophie ran in from outside. Madison, the news van's back. And there's a crowd, vets, families, even the mayor. The mayor? Madison said, shocked. What's he doing here? Saw the news last night, Sophie said. He's got your back. Before Madison could process it, Major Carter strode in, his face tense. They're here, he said. Early. Colonel Hayes and General Pierce. Let's move. Madison's stomach flipped. I'm not ready, she whispered. You are, Carter said. Just be you. The door opened, and two men in crisp uniforms entered. Colonel Hayes, tall and stern, carried a tablet. General Pierce, older, with gray hair and sharp eyes, scanned the room. This the hub? Pierce asked, his voice gruff. Yes, sir, Carter said. And this is Madison Parker, the woman who's been holding it together. Hayes raised an eyebrow. The diner woman? From the viral video. Madison squared her shoulders. That's me. But this isn't about a video. It's about them. She nodded to Caleb, Olivia, and Lucas. Hayes frowned. This program's over budget. No measurable outcomes. Why should we keep it? Olivia stepped forward, her voice firm. Because it saves people, sir. I was a mess after my tour. This place and Madison's diner gave me a reason to keep going. Caleb nodded. Same here. Rusty and I were lost till Madison gave us a seat. Lucas cleared his throat, his hands shaky. Can I say something? Pierce nodded, and Lucas continued. I came back from Iraq last year. Couldn't sleep. Couldn't talk. Scout my dog, and places like this, they're why I'm here. Madison gets that. Pierce's eyes softened, but Hayes wasn't convinced. Nice stories, but we need data, not feelings. Then listen to this, a new voice said. The mayor, Tom Bennett, walked in, followed by a crowd of vets and families. Madison's diner kept this town together. Her work's why we're here today. A vet in the back, Nate, spoke up. She gave me free coffee when I couldn't pay. Talked to me when no one else would. Another, Sarah, added. Her hero's breakfast saved my marriage. Gave me a place to talk. Madison's eyes stung. She hadn't expected this. The room filled, vets hugging her, thanking her. Ellen handed Pierce a cookie. My son loved her diner, she said. This hub's what he needed. Pierce took a bite, thoughtful. You've got a lot of support, Miss Parker. Hayes tapped his tablet. Still no numbers. This is emotional, not practical. Then the door swung open. Claire, the area manager, stormed in, Mr. Evans, the lawyer, behind her. This is a mistake, Claire said. Madison's causing chaos. The company's reputation is at stake. Evans nodded. We're filing a lawsuit today, unless that video comes down. The room tensed. Sophie snapped. You fired her for helping a vet. You're the problem. Pierce raised a hand. Enough. Miss Parker, what do you say? Madison took a breath. I didn't make that video. The truth did. I won't apologize for standing up for Caleb or anyone else. Sue me if you want. I'm not stopping. A cheer rose from the crowd. Carter grinned. Pierce looked at Hayes. This woman's got more fight than half my officers. But Hayes wasn't done. One last thing, he said, pulling up a document. We got a complaint. From the health inspector. Says you violated codes, Miss Parker. Madison froze. Victor, the inspector who'd apologized, stepped forward from the crowd. That was me, he said. And I was wrong. I retracted it yesterday. Madison's diner was clean. Her heart's cleaner. The room gasped. Pierce's eyes narrowed. You're admitting a mistake? Yes, sir, Victor said. She's the real deal. This hub's worth saving. Hayes looked stunned. Pierce turned to Madison. You've got 1 hour to show me why this place matters. Then I decide. Madison nodded, her heart racing. The crowd buzzed, vets and families ready to fight. Outside, the news van's camera rolled, capturing it all. The veteran support hub pulsed with life as Madison faced her 1-hour deadline. The room was packed, vets, families, townsfolk, even the news crew filming quietly. Photos of soldiers glowed under the string lights, and coffee steamed in mugs. Caleb stood by Rusty, Olivia held Daisy's leash, and Lucas kept Scout close. Sophie darted between tables, refilling cups, while Ellen handed out cookies. Major Carter stood by Madison, his eyes steady. Colonel Hayes tapped his tablet, impatient, but General Pierce watched closely, his face unreadable. Madison took a deep breath. "Let's show them," she said. She stepped forward, her voice clear. "This isn't about budgets or rules. It's about people. Vets come here broken, and we give them a place to heal. Not with forms, but with coffee, a chair, a smile." Nate, the vet who'd spoken earlier, stood. "Madison's diner saved me," he said. "I was sleeping in my car. She gave me breakfast, talked to me, made me feel human." Sarah, the retired medic, nodded. "Her hero's breakfast gave me a place to laugh again. My husband and I were falling apart. She listened. That's what this hub can do." Ellen stepped up, holding Jack's photo. "My son didn't make it," she said, her voice breaking. "But Madison gave him good days. This place is his legacy." Pierce's eyes softened. Hayes frowned. "Stories don't pay bills," he said. "Then listen to this," Carter said, pulling out a folder. "Local businesses pledged $10,000 to keep this hub open. The mayor's matching it. And the video? It's at 500,000 views. People want this." The mayor, Tom, nodded. "Willow Creek stands with Madison. This hub stays." A cheer erupted. Madison's heart pounded. She hadn't expected this. Sophie hugged her. "Told you, Madison. You're a hero." "I'm not," Madison said, her voice shaky. "You all are." Then Ava, the teenager, ran in breathless. "Madison, check this." She held up her phone. A national news outlet had picked up the story. "They're calling you the Diner Angel. They want you on TV in New York." Madison laughed, stunned. "New York? I'm not going anywhere." "You might," Pierce said, standing. "Miss Parker, I've seen enough. This hub stays open, and I want you running it." The room exploded in cheers. Caleb clapped, Rusty's tail wagging. Olivia hugged Daisy. Lucas grinned, Scout nudging his hand. Madison's eyes filled with tears. "Me? Run this?" "Yes," Pierce said. "You've been doing it for years without a title. Now you've got one, Director of the Veterans Support Hub." Hayes sighed, closing his tablet. "Fine. But we'll need reports." "You'll get them," Carter said, smirking. "Madison's good at details." As the crowd celebrated, Claire and Mr. Evans slipped in, faces pale. "Madison," Claire said, her voice low. "The company's dropping the lawsuit. They want you back at the diner." Madison looked at her, then at the hub, vets laughing, dogs sprawled out, coffee flowing. "I'm home here," she said. "The diner's yours. Give Sophie my job. She's earned it." Sophie gasped. "Me? Madison, are you sure?" "Positive," Madison said, hugging her. "You've got this." Claire nodded, defeated, and left with Evans. The news crew caught it all, Mia smiling. "This is going national," she said. "Madison, you're changing lives." As the brass left, Pierce pulled Madison aside. "Your brother, Ethan, he'd be proud. Keep doing what you do." Madison nodded, tears falling. "I will." The hub buzzed on, vets sharing stories, kids playing with the dogs. Outside, the news van aired the story live. Willow Creek glowed under the morning sun, united. Madison looked at Ethan's photo, her heart full. She'd lost her job, but gained a purpose. The crowd chanted her name, but she waved it off, pouring coffee for Lucas. "Nice speech," he said, smiling. "Just the truth," Madison replied. The moral lesson hung in the air. Kindness, no matter the cost, builds bridges that last. Madison's stand for one vet had sparked a movement, proving a single act of courage could change a community. As she handed out mugs, the hub felt like her diner, warm, alive, home.